Ever feel like you're just reacting to life?
Hmm.
Like you're on a treadmill, maybe,
Yeah.
running fast, but staying in the same place, just getting tired.
Yeah, I think a lot of people can relate to that feeling.
The economy does its thing, politics flares up, housing costs are, wow. And you just feel kind of blown around.
Exactly. That feeling like you're being tossed about by things outside your control, like you're a victim of circumstance.
Yeah,
That's really the core of what the source calls living life by default.
right. And this deep dive, what we're doing here is really digging into the difference between that default state and intentionally creating a life by design.
Mm.
We're pulling from this, well, frankly fascinating book that doesn't just point out the problem, it actually lays out a path, tools, steps.
Practical stuff. And it uses some really compelling examples too, like Mary, the estate agent.
Oh, yeah, tell us about her.
Well, she was struggling,
Yeah.
ranked 16th in her region, but she applied these principles we're going to talk about. She became number one. Number one. And the kicker,
Yeah.
she actually started taking more weekends off.
Wow. So it wasn't just about grinding harder.
Not at all. It was an internal shift
Yeah.
completely. That led to those external results.
And the author himself, he's pretty open about his own journey, isn't he?
Very from a, let's say, challenging youth
Right.
to building real success, navigating big financial downturns, all by making that conscious choice to live by design.
Okay. So our mission then for this deep dive is to really unpack what living by default looks like. Peel back the layers, see what might be keeping people stuck there.
Those hidden drivers.
Exactly. And then walk through the specific six-step framework and the mindset shifts the source offers. The goal is to help you move from feeling like life's just happening to you to becoming the architect of your own life.
Yeah.
Intentionally.
Sounds good. Where do we start?
Okay, let's start at the beginning. Living by default. The source uses this really strong term for it. It calls it an active coma. What's that about?
Yeah, it's provocative, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not literal, obviously. You're walking, talking, doing
Living,
things.
you're active.
Exactly. But the coma part, that's about being disconnected. Disconnected from your own power, your own sense of direction. It's like you feel plugged into some kind of imaginary life support.
Hmm.
Just hoping the external stuff, the economy, your boss, whatever, will get better. So
Yeah.
your life gets better.
Okay. So it's that victim mindset again, feeling powerless against these big external forces.
Yeah.
And crucially, doing very little, maybe nothing, about the challenges you can influence in your own life.
Precisely. You feel stuck,
Mm-hmm.
maybe worried all the time, concerned, sometimes even paralyzed by fear, afraid to leave that comfort zone.
Even if it's not comfortable anymore.
Right. That's the irony. And often there's a big element of denial, like not really admitting that things could be better, that there's room for growth.
This feels very familiar. You think about common struggles, chronic money stress,
Mm-hmm.
strained relationships, maybe health issues that just linger,
Right.
or just feeling emotionally drained all the time.
Yeah. It shows up everywhere.
And the source points out how widespread this is. It even mentions, I think, a CDC report about antidepressant prescriptions becoming the most common drug prescribed in the U.S., rising significantly over time.
Which the source kind of frames as people reaching for external fixes, chemical solutions,
Right.
for what might fundamentally be an internal state. That feeling of being overwhelmed, powerless, living by default.
And it's not just one part of life, is it? The source talks about 7 core areas, the core 7.
Yes, the core 7, it's a useful way to break it down. Career, intimate relationships, finances, physical health, spirituality,
Yeah.
contribution or giving back, and then your desire to learn and grow.
So default living can creep into any or all of those.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And being stuck in one area, say finances,
Mm-hmm.
it easily spills over. Stress impacts your health, maybe causes friction in your relationship.
Leaves no energy for learning or contributing.
It's all connected. A system, like you said.
So the very first step, the source says, the absolute foundation is just awareness.
Just noticing.
Recognizing where in those core 7 areas you might be operating on default. It even says things like pain or discomfort. They're often signals.
Yeah, signals that you're starting to wake up, that something needs attention.
It's that moment of honesty, isn't it? Okay, this part isn't working the way I want it to.
Exactly. That's the start.
Okay, so if that's the active coma, the default state, let's dig into the why. Why do people get stuck there? The source talks about these hidden drivers, calls them core addictions.
Mm-hmm. And it makes a pretty bold claim that these destroy more dreams than, say, substance abuse, which is a big statement.
It is. What are they?
It identifies 4 main ones. The first, the addiction to opinions of others.
Oof.
Yeah.
That feels massive today, doesn't it? Social media, comparison, constantly worrying what everyone else thinks, seeking approval, dodging disapproval.
It really seeps into everything. The car you drive, the clothes, the house. Are you choosing based on your values, your vision, or based on what you think others will think?
Trying to signal something?
Right. The source tells this story about a friend who used to, let's say, stretch the truth a lot about his accomplishments.
Okay.
And the author realized it wasn't really about lying maliciously. It was an addiction. He needed to appear successful to others because underneath, his self-esteem was low.
That makes sense. And the client example, Carol.
Yeah, Carol. She left her accounting job to go into real estate, and her parents intensely disapproved.
Oh, boy.
Big time. And she really struggled with that conflict. But eventually, she had to consciously decide that her desire for her kids' future mattered more than managing her parents' opinions. She learned to hear them, but not let them drive the bus.
It's a tricky balance.
Very.
And the really damaging part of this addiction is how it can just kill great ideas before they even get started, right?
Totally. You have an idea, you're excited, you mention it to someone whose opinion you value, they poke holes in it.
And poof, gone.
Yeah. Because that fear of disapproval, that need for validation outweighs your own belief in the idea. You've basically outsourced your self-worth.
Okay, so that's one. What's the second addiction?
The addiction to drama.
Ah, drama. We all know people. Or maybe are people.
Yeah. It's not just about bad things happening. It's an unhealthy attachment to the conflict, the chaos, the emotional intensity of negative situations.
Like you almost thrive on it.
For some people, yes. Their identity gets kind of wrapped up in being the person things always happen to or being in the middle of the storm.
And it often gets triggered by unmet expectations, right? Past stuff, present stuff, future worries.
Exactly. You didn't get the promotion you expected. Your partner canceled date night. Your vacation gets rained out. What's your immediate reaction? Do you escalate? Do you find someone to blame? Do you feed the drama?
Instead of just dealing with the situation.
Right. And the source gives these incredibly powerful counterexamples. Captain Jerry Coffey, POW in Vietnam for 7 years. Unimaginable circumstances.
Yeah.
He chose not to be a victim of that horror. He focused on inner strength, on purpose, on surviving. He refused the drama imposed on him.
Or Viktor Frankl in the concentration camps. Observing that those who held on to meaning, a why.
They had more resilience. They found something beyond the immediate horrific drama.
And the friend mentioned whose child had cerebral palsy.
Yeah, instead of getting stuck in why me, which is understandable,
Totally.
the parent immediately shifted to, okay, what can I do now? How can I make my daughter's life the best it can be? Action over despair. Drama diffused.
There's a more everyday example, too, the hotel check-in story.
Oh, yeah. Arriving late, tired kids, reservation is gone. The author's first instinct is frustration, maybe make a scene.
We've all been there.
Right. But he paused. Chose to be calm, polite. Asked the clerk, okay, what options do we have?
And the outcome.
Upgraded to the presidential suite. Dinner
Yes,
bombed.
Right?
Ow, seriously.
Right.
It just shows you can't always control the event, but your response. That's where the power is. You choose drama or you choose solutions.
Okay, addiction to others' opinions. Addiction to drama. What's number 3?
Addiction to the past.
Ah, holding on to old stuff.
Yeah, an unhealthy attachment. Living back when. Stuck in old hurts, regrets, shame, guilt. Unresolved issues that keep you anchored to yesterday.
And this totally poisons present relationships, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Carrying old fights, mistakes from past partners, or even childhood wounds into your current life. You're reacting to ghosts.
The sauce tells a really heavy story about this, about Jim.
Yeah, that one's intense. He carried guilt over his brother's accidental death for 37 years.
Wow.
Because his parents had blamed him when he was just a kid. It was this huge unspoken weight. And the breakthrough only came when he finally, in a coaching setting, confronted and released that decades-old guilt. Imagine the relief.
Unbelievable. It shows how deep this stuff can go. The author mentions his own struggles too, right? Feeling inadequate about not finishing high school.
That internal voice telling him he wasn't smart enough or capable enough because he didn't have the traditional credentials. He had to consciously reframe his past, see the strengths his unique path gave him, not just the perceived lack.
Okay. And the 4th addiction.
Addiction to worry.
The constant hamster wheel of anxiety.
Exactly. Not just normal concern, but that consuming cycle of negative, self-defeating thoughts, stress, anxiety. It just shuts people down, paralyzes them, prevents action.
There's a great reframe in the source for feeling overwhelmed, isn't there?
Yes, feeling overwhelmed means you're underplanned.
I like that.
It's brilliant, right? Worry keeps everything jumbled and chaotic in your head. Just the act of writing your worries down, getting them out, it helps you see them clearly, and then you can start planning instead of just spinning.
The story of Eric, the salesman with the heart attack.
Powerful, super successful guy, but the stress got him. His doctor made him list everything he worried about.
How long was the list?
4 pages.
Oh, yeah.
But when they actually looked at it, most of it was empty. Things that were incredibly unlikely to happen, things he had no control over anyway, just what ifs.
Living in future catastrophes that probably won't occur.
Exactly. The source asks a great question. What do you actually gain from worry? It keeps you stuck, drains energy, harms your health, distracts you from what you could be doing.
It's interesting how the author catches himself falling back into these patterns, even knowing all this, like at his son's basketball game.
Yeah, he admits it. Worrying about his son losing, what other parents thought, getting caught up in the little dramas of the game.
Human nature.
Totally. But the key is, he caught himself. He brought awareness back. That's the practice.
Okay, so those are the 4 core addictions. Then there's the role of enablers.
Right. The people around you who, sometimes unintentionally, sometimes not, help keep you stuck.
How do they do that?
They might cover for you, make excuses for your behavior, agree with your victim stories. Basically, they help maintain the status quo because maybe they're comfortable with it, or they even benefit from you staying stuck.
So they co-create this false reality.
Exactly. It prevents you from having to face the hard truths and make changes. The author gives an example of a friend asking him to lie to cover up an affair.
And he refused.
He refused. Said it wouldn't actually help his friend in the long run, even if it felt easier in the moment. Enabling hurts everyone eventually.
That forces a tough question back on us, doesn't it? Thinking about people we care about.
Yeah.
Could we be on someone's enabler list? Are we accidentally propping up their default patterns?
It's a really important self-reflection because you can't change what you don't see or what others are helping you not see.
Right. Understanding these drivers, these addictions, these enablers, it's critical for figuring out why you might be stuck.
Absolutely foundational.
Okay. So we've looked at the starting point, that active coma of default living, and dug into some reasons why. Now let's pivot. Let's talk about the path forward. The source gives a very clear 6-step framework for moving from default to design.
Yes, this is the constructive part. Taking that awareness and building something new.
So step 1 is wake up. We've touched on this, but it's worth repeating. It's that foundational awareness. Acknowledging where you feel incomplete, where there's resistance, pain. The source says that discomfort. It's not failure. It's the alarm clock going off.
It's the signal you're ready to move out of that coma. It's the moment of radical honesty. Okay, I see it. I've been living by default here.
Got it. Step 1, awareness. Then step 2 is map your vision.
This is huge. It's the shift. Stop focusing on what's wrong or what you don't want.
Right.
And get crystal clear on what you do want.
So asking those big questions, purpose, values, what does an extraordinary life look like for me in those core 7 areas?
Exactly. And the author uses his own experience mapping the vision for this very book as an example. He didn't just hope it would do well. He set huge specific goals.
Like bestseller status, translations.
Getting the phrase by design into the common language, audacious stuff. And he apparently did the vision mapping exercise twice to really solidify it.
Shows the depth needed. He also talks about mentors helping here.
Yeah, like Mark Victor Hansen pushing him to think even bigger about the book's potential impact.
Yeah.
Mentors can really expand your sense of what's possible.
And tools like vision boards, or they're just like arts and crafts.
Now the source argues they're powerful neuropsychological tools, seeing those images of your desired future daily, especially since most people are visual learners.
Yeah.
It reinforces the goal, keeps it top of mind, builds self-discipline towards it.
Okay. But there's an exercise within this step that sounds really potent, listing the emotional benefits of achieving the vision.
Yes. How will it feel when you get there? Joy, freedom, peace, connection. Tapping into the emotion is key.
And the flip side, listing the painful consequences of staying stuck in default.
Crucial. What's the cost of inaction? What pain will you experience if you don't change? The source says be raw, be honest here. The more painful you make those consequences feel,
The stronger the motivation to move.
exactly. It makes the stakes real, very real.
Now, interestingly, the framework jumps ahead slightly in the book, but it connects so strongly here. Step 5, visualize it, right after mapping the vision.
Yes. It makes sense to talk about it here.
Yeah.
Visualization is like creating a mental movie. Vivid, detailed, emotionally charged of your future already achieved.
Like mental rehearsal.
Precisely, but perfect rehearsal. The source mentions that basketball free throw study
Oh, yeah, the group that just visualized practicing.
performed almost as well as the group that physically practiced and way better than the group that did nothing. Why? Because in your mind, you sync every shot.
Yeah.
You program success.
You're training your brain.
You're training your brain and your nervous system for that desired reality. The author shares this really intense personal visualization he did, guided by a friend.
Yeah.
He imagined traveling years into the future, landing in his dream home, seeing his wife, feeling the environment, engaging all his senses, like he was already there.
Wow. A full immersion.
Totally. And the source basically asks, if you knew that spending a few minutes each day running this positive, successful movie in your head could dramatically increase your odds of achieving it, why wouldn't you do it?
Good question. Okay, so we've got awareness, step 1, map your vision, step 2, and visualize it. Step 5, reinforcing step 2. Let's loop back. Step 3 is inspired action.
Right. Vision and visualization are crucial, but nothing happens without action. This is where you start moving.
Taking concrete steps, intentional steps, aligned with the vision.
Yes, and it requires structure. Detailed goals, daily, weekly, monthly, yearly. The author has this mantra.
If it's not on my schedule.
It doesn't exist. Powerful. If you don't deliberately schedule the time for the actions that move you forward, life will just fill that time with default stuff.
Makes sense. He talks about his own experience learning his dad's business, right?
Yeah.
Starting from the bottom.
Yeah, sweeping floors, learning every single job before stepping into sales or leadership. That's structured, deliberate action, building competence from the ground up.
Or Daniel, the hairstylist who loved art.
Great example. He felt trapped by his long salon hours, no time for his passion.
So what did he do?
He didn't just wish. He took inspired action on his structure. He shifted his salon hours, started super early, finished by 2 p.m.
Created the time.
Exactly. Created the space for his art, and eventually built a 6-figure income from it, alongside his styling. He changed his structure to enable the action.
Okay, so taking action is key. But then comes step 4. Find your balance. Or get back to neutral. Why is this important between all the action?
Because you can't sustain inspired action if you're running on empty, stressed out, or carrying a ton of emotional weight. It's about sustainability and effectiveness.
Releasing tension.
Negative emotion.
Yes. Actively doing that. The source talks about identifying the boulders in your life, those draining issues, commitments, unresolved conflicts that block your energy flow.
And consciously working to remove them. Exactly. To get back to a state of peace or neutrality, where that underlying stress isn't constantly humming in the background. It tells a story about an employee whose messy divorce was dragging down the whole office energy. Addressing it directly, releasing that tension, removed the boulder. And suddenly his energy shifted, led to a new job, remarriage. Things flowed again.
So balance isn't passive, it's active work too, like establishing routines, morning routines.
Yes, very important. The source suggests a simple 3-part morning routine. Release, write down incompletes from yesterday. Gratitude, list current gratitudes. And declaration, state your intentions for today. Present tense.
Sets the tone, right?
Absolutely. And also finding dedicated you time. Time to just recharge.
Like plugging in your phone.
Exactly. The author shares realizing he had literally 0 Tom time, just time for himself.
Yeah, I can relate to that feeling.
Right. He found that just sitting by the harbor for an hour at lunch, quietly, just being, it recharged him. If you plug in your devices daily, shouldn't you prioritize recharging yourself?
Fair point. Okay, final step in the framework. Step 6 is structure and accountability.
This locks it all in. Making your plan, your vision, public. Telling people what you're committed to doing.
Creates pressure.
Healthy pressure. Accountability. The source mentions you'll likely find supporters who cheer you on.
Yeah.
And probably some defaulters. People who maybe unconsciously kind of want you to fail because your growth makes them uncomfortable.
Interesting. Both can motivate you.
Absolutely. Supporters lift you. And sometimes proving the doubters wrong is powerful fuel too. The source even suggests things like daily check-in questions with an accountability partner.
Like, did you move your life forward today?
Or even, did you lie to me? Brutal honesty, maybe even monetary penalties for missing agreed-upon actions.
So this isn't about punishment, it's about support.
It's about support, creating guardrails. Because motivation wavers. Discipline needs structure. This helps you follow through, especially on tough days, and not slide back into default.
Wow. Okay, those 6 steps: wake up, map vision, inspired action, find balance, visualize, structure, and accountability. That's a comprehensive framework.
It really is. Worked consistently, it's an engine for real intentional change.
Beyond the main framework, the source also highlights some key tools and mindset shifts that are like essential support systems for this whole process.
Yeah, things that help you navigate the inevitable bumps in the road.
First one, practicing the perfect game. What's that? Sounds optimistic.
Huh. It's radical, actually. It's a technique for dealing with setbacks, mistakes, unexpected problems. The core idea is declare whatever happens is perfect.
Okay, wait. How is losing a client or having your car break down perfect? That feels like denial.
It's not about pretending bad is good. It's about choosing your response instantly.
Yeah.
By declaring it perfect, you shift from victim mode, oh no, this is terrible, to empowerment mode. Okay, this happened. It's perfect. What's the lesson here? What opportunity does this create? What's my next move?
So it forces you to look for the upside or the learning immediately.
Exactly. Instead of getting stuck in complaining or despair. The example of the guy whose daughter's car broke down.
Yeah.
Instead of getting mad, he declared it perfect. That prompted him to call his insurance agent about the car. The agent mentioned they were thinking of selling their house, which led to a huge business deal for the guy.
Whoa, because his response opened a door.
His response created the opportunity. You can't control the event, but you always control your response. That's the perfect game.
Powerful mindset shift. Okay,
Now, understanding the power of self-talk and affirmations, this is huge.
our internal chatter.
Constantly running.
Yeah.
And your subconscious. It's listening. It takes whatever you feed it as the literal truth, as programming instructions.
So if that tape is full of, I'm not good enough, I can't do this, why me, I'm always broke, or I never have enough time.
Your subconscious goes, okay, got it, and works to make that your reality. Negative self-talk is incredibly destructive and often totally unconscious.
So affirmations are the antidote.
They're the conscious reprogramming. Positive statements, in the present tense, about what you choose to believe and create. I am capable. Money flows easily to me. I am healthy and energetic. You're feeding your subconscious new instructions.
The author used these a lot personally, right? For sales, for his kids' health.
Yeah, he talks about affirming his younger son would be born healthy, and he was. And affirming sales goals and seeing results jump.
There's that great story about his older son, Michael, too.
Oh, yeah. Michael admitting he kind of hated doing the affirmations in the car on the way to basketball practice.
Yeah.
But then saying, but Dad, I'm really glad you made us do them because when I need them, they're there.
Yeah. Wow. That shows the long-term impact. It builds a foundation.
Even if it feels awkward at first, like faking it. You're installing positive software. The source basically says you're going to be brainwashed anyway by society, media, your own old patterns. Why not choose to intentionally brainwash yourself with positive, empowering beliefs?
Good point. Choose your programming.
Right.
The source also touches briefly on just basic physical well-being, doesn't it? Boosting energy.
Yeah, it's foundational. Not a deep dive into health science, but highlights the non-negotiables. Sleep, getting enough quality sleep. Hydration, aiming for plenty of water. Ditching sugary drinks. Exercise, regular movement, like 30 minutes, 5 days a week. Maybe vitamins or supplements if needed.
Why is that so critical for living by design?
Because all this stuff, taking inspired action, facing old patterns, visualizing, maintaining balance, it takes energy.
Yeah.
Physical vitality, mental clarity. These basic habits fuel the entire process. You can't build an extraordinary life if you're constantly running on fumes.
Makes total sense. You need the fuel. Okay, one more tool. Seeing progress. Finding the proof.
This is about noticing the feedback loop. Once you commit to living by design, start taking action. Start shifting your mindset. The source says life, or the universe, starts sending you confirmation.
Like signs.
Yeah, signs, synchronicities. You start attracting people, opportunities, circumstances that align with your new direction. But you have to look for them.
Tune in your awareness. Like the author's penny game.
Exactly. Teaching his kids that finding a penny wasn't just finding a penny. It was proof. Money is easy and everywhere. A small validation of a positive belief, or deciding you want a certain car, and suddenly you see it everywhere.
Yeah, that happens.
Your awareness is just tuned to it now. The proof was always there, you just didn't notice. These confirmations, a message in a song, a relevant conversation, finding the perfect book, they're like little nudges.
Like the universe saying, add a boy or add a girl.
Kind of validation. Yes, you're on the right track, keep going.
Yeah.
Finding this proof Makes the whole thing feel less theoretical and more real. It builds momentum.
So this whole process, living by design,
Yeah.
it's not really a destination you arrive at, is it? It's
Yeah.
more ongoing.
Definitely ongoing. It becomes your new way of operating, your new default, ideally. And the source hints that this consistent practice can lead to an extraordinary leap, moving beyond just improvement to demanding and creating, something truly exceptional. But it's always a process of growth, refinement, checking back in with a vision, adjusting course.
The source uses some really inspiring examples of that spirit, right? Like Ben Coman.
Oh, yeah. The young man with severe cerebral palsy, told he might never walk. He runs cross-country, falls constantly, gets back up every time. Takes him 40 minutes for a race, others finish in 15. That's unbelievable perseverance.
Choosing his goal over his limitations.
Absolutely. Or Rudy Garcia-Tolson, born with severe leg defects, who chose amputation at age 5 so he could get prosthetics and run and play. Choosing the future he wanted over the circumstances he was given. That's living by design in action.
It really highlights that courage isn't the absence of fear.
Not at all. It's acknowledging the fear. Okay, fear, I see you, and doing the thing anyway, acting in alignment with your vision despite the fear.
So making that shift from feeling like a pawn of circumstance to being the conscious, intentional architect of your own life, that's maybe one of the biggest transformations possible.
Arguably, yes.
Yeah.
A fundamental shift in how you experience everything.
And as we've explored in this deep dive, based on the source material, it's clear it's not magic, it's not easy. It takes real commitment, discipline, consistent effort, hard work.
Definitely. No shortcuts offered here.
But the potential payoff, crafting a life you truly love, across all those important areas, the core 7 or the results, can be, well, extraordinary.
That's the promise.
Yeah.
And the possibility.
So maybe a final thought for you listening right now to kind of mull over. Thinking about those core 7 areas, again, career, intimate relationships, finances, physical health, spirituality, contribution, learning and growth. Just pick one. What's maybe one small area where you're willing right now to simply become aware, just notice that maybe you've been living by default.
Just that first step, awareness. Where does the discomfort signal you might be ready for a change? Taking that first step is often the hardest, but it's where the entire journey begins.